Yo, yo, yo! What's going on, great people in all of the great land? You already know who it is. Your favorite fantasy football homeboys in the chat, ready to rock and roll. We got the NFL Super Wild Card Weekend, the fantasy football show Saturday edition, where we have your lines, your props, your broken hearts, your props, your betting lines. Johnny, say what's up to the great people.
Woo! That's all I gotta say, man. Friday
Woo! Gotta do it
couldn't be
right, man.
done soon enough. Soon enough. Just got up late last night watching a damn good game. Last night, so obviously a little bit tired. But
Made money on that too.
yeah, yeah. For goodness sakes, Hakeem, please do not take all of my pocket change. Uh yeah. So it was good, man. A good game. Good game. It was good seeing all those old legends out there on the sideline for sure. And hopefully we'll get ready to run it back, make a little bit more coin to cover up what's getting ready to happen here this weekend, man. But I'm excited because my boy Caleb Williams getting ready to get busy tomorrow. And then we're getting ready to see the Rams and Panthers in a aggressive revenge game for sure. So yeah, man. Glad to be here. Let's do it, man. I'm ready to get this ish rolling, Cup.
Appreciate it. For all the people that are going to be live, people that are coming on replay, please like, subscribe to the channel. We are 23 subs away from 200. So please help us get there before the end of the season. Without further ado, we're going to dive right into the first game of the Wild Card Weekend, the 4:30 game. The Rams, the Panthers. Rams getting 10.5 on the road going to Carolina. The over-under there is 45.5. Yeah, like we saw this one before, week 13, where Carolina pulled it off at home. They were a double-digit underdog. They're a double-digit underdog here. We're only about 6 weeks removed from that. Stafford fumbles the ball late in the game, so game-winning fumble strip by the Panthers to seal it. And there was a lot. There was a little luck involved, I feel, in the last matchup for Carolina to pull it off. You had about 17 points that the Rams were in position to get, but turnovers led to the loss of the 17-point differential, in which the Rams end up losing the game by only a field goal. So, look, what you got going on here really is a rematch. So, Johnny, your overall thoughts on this one? I know you've been Seattle and a Rams guy for most of the year. Rams, what do you think about them overall in this one?
I think this is absolutely a get back spot for him. Like, I don't think there's any question. You mentioned it already, man. Like, turnovers definitely hamstrung the Rams in this last matchup on top of inclement weather as well. You can't get them California boys out there, man, out there on that grass and in the rain, man. Them boys, man, they got to be, domed up, 70, 80 degrees. So there was some of that, like, again, man, turnovers, you mentioned it. I think one of the situations, I think it was bad like Mike Jackson, 55 yards to the house in that game, man, for a pick six. Matt Stafford had 2 interceptions in that game. So yeah, like those are things that like you hadn't seen a lot this year from the Rams, is like games where they've had multiple turnovers. And then Carolina, man, like at home, like I'll give it to them, man. Like, you said there's luck involved, right? But like, hey, man, turnovers happen for one or two reasons. Either A, players being sloppy with the ball, or defense generates turnovers. And I think like we've seen the brand of football that the Panthers play all season long. It's tough. It's aggressive. That's what it is. They win close football games. They almost pulled off one last week against the Buccaneers, right? So I think there's that. The other like element of this too, man, like, or some more things to like throw out there. Talking about defenses, it's the Rams defense versus Bryce Young. I think we all know like that's exactly what it is in that space. And this Rams defense has been they've been hell on wheels. Yes, I have been a Rams guy this year, like at certain points, because I do believe they have looked like the best team in the NFL. At certain points, the Seattle Seahawks, I've liked everything that they've had going on dating back to the preseason. So I think like this is the beautiful thing about the playoffs now, man. The styles make fights. And the Rams defense this season, man, they have forced 113 third and long situations meaning that's 7 yards plus to go. And that's the third most in the NFL. And we all know that if that's the situation for the Carolina Panthers, that's not the type of football they want to play. That's not the brand of football they want to play. And the Rams, man, it still was what it was, man. Bryce Young was pressured on 5 dropbacks in third and long situations, so 80% of the time. Um, on the one time he had a clean pocket, he did hit Chuba Hubbard on a 35-yard play that resulted in a touchdown. So I think, like, again, like we all know what it is with these guys defensively with the Rams. They also get back Tyler Higbee, who also had a pretty big performance. I think it was last week, if I'm not mistaken. So like they're getting more weapons back. Obviously, Tay is going to be back. Yeah, man. I just think there's more like I could continue to go on with, but I'll leave you some meat on the bone out here for this game. But I definitely all in on the Rams, man.
So wheels up for the Rams, huh?
I mean, I don't see why not. Like, I truly don't, man. I think, again, all the things that, like I stated, the inclement weather, the multiple turnovers, the big plays, the busted plays, all the things, right? Like, all the things that it took to go right for the Panthers to win this game. You take a couple of those scenarios and situations out.
Take one of them away.
Take one of them again, away. Again, just being mindful. You know what I mean? Just being mindful. But yeah, like I have a sneaky suspicion that and it's not even sneaky. I think like the general public is right there with me. That the Rams are just going to handle business, and if we want to get like more in the weeds, like on some of these other things, like the Rams they were 4th in the NFL for like average margin of victory. At almost 16 points a game. So like if that's the case, then like the Panthers, in my opinion, I don't know how they're able to stand up and make that happen, as they are averaging only 18 points a game, which was 27th in the NFL. So just like in respect of that, like one would think that they should be able to handle business. Turnover differential. The Rams were 5th in the NFL at +10. Panthers are -2, 15. Just so many. The one thing that the Panthers are actually okay at is like on the penalty side of things. But like again, man, there's so many small details, right, man? It's the playoffs. Matt Stafford's been here before. I think you're going to see a lot of that this weekend, where there's a lot of veteran quarterbacks or quarterbacks that have experience, and head coaches as well that also have experience in these games as far as playoff games, and that definitely means something. It has some kind of weight and carries some kind of weight. So yeah, like it's hard for me to move off of this. I think too, Blake Corum coming back. I know he was been a little bit banged up, a little bit dinged up in his space for sure. But Bryce Young, man, I think 206 yards, 15 to 20. This is it. Yeah, 71 of those yards, those 206 yards were behind the line of scrimmage. So like I really have just a very difficult time believing Sean McVay and that group does not come prepared and makes the adjustments that are necessary to handle business on Saturday.
Yeah, I think the Rams are going to handle business. I think they'll win the game. I guess what intrigues me is a 10.5 for Carolina. They're at home. They always play their best ball at home. Like you talked about, Carolina, I think, was just extremely efficient when playing the Rams several weeks ago. In Week 13, both Chuba and Rico had combined 35 carries for 141 yards. Bryce Young threw for 206 passing yards, 3 scores on just 20 attempts. And lastly, the Panthers controlled the second half of the game, 19 minutes and 35 seconds per time of possession. So I think with Carolina, and like I said, everything worked out in their favor as far as like from a turnover perspective. Like I said, there was like 17 points that the Rams should have had on the board, but Carolina erased with either turnovers or stopping them on 4th down. Along with that, the Rams were yards per play in that loss was 7.4. Like the Rams were still hitting their cylinders. It was just, again, Carolina stopped them when it mattered the most. I think what's key in this one would be you talked about earlier, the Rams defense against Bryce Young. Bryce Young has 22 of his 23 touchdowns on the outside the boundary. That's crazy. He has one touchdown that's come from over the middle this season. So if Rams find a way to push Bryce Young to going over a middle a ton, he's completed 68% of his passes on the season in that area, but still ranks, bottom third of the league for the NFL. So that's where, again, one touchdown to 4 interceptions among his 25 attempts for him over the middle. So passer rating 79, QB rating. So yeah, look, I think the Rams are going to get it done. The double-digit total will have to be only there if they really, get up early potentially, or, like you said, just take care of business and keep things moving, which I think they can definitely get done. I just think there is a world where Carolina does play them tough to, tooth and nail to the end, and they get a backdoor 10.5. That's still very viable. But I do think the Rams take care of business. Rams, they are the best offense in the league. First in points, in total yards, and yards per play that we talked about. So Rams should get this done. But that's why they play the games.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh yes, man. Sir. So the other game we go. Green Bay Packers, Chicago Bears. Packers favored by 1.5 going into Soldier Field to take on the Bears. 44.5 over under. The 8 p.m. late game slot. Sounds familiar? A couple weeks ago, they were in the same spot. Saturday night, 8 o'clock start. And where the Bears won that game in overtime. So the last game they played, is that, unfortunately Jordan Love injury, whatever, But that being said, Green Bay, Chicago. What do we like about this one?
Caleb Williams.
Yep.
That's what I like. That's what I like about it. No, there's no, like, for real though. Like, this is another situation where two quarterbacks that I'm very high on, man. Like, was very high on Jordan Love coming into the season. Was very high on Caleb Williams coming into the season. I think it's very ironic. It's great television. The fact that, like, the Bears and the Packers do meet again.
Third time.
Yeah. And it's been a split. So that there's that. And then even just going back and, like, looking at, like, just the last 5 matchups. The last 5 matchups have been 1 possession games, for sure. So the Bears are 2-3 in those instances. Obviously, they needed a little bit of love to win the last game, going into overtime, for sure. But I think, like, this game is really just about, in my opinion, man, I think it's more about health for the Packers. And is everyone healthy for them? Are they as healthy as they can be? Josh Jacobs, man, like, we already know, like, how big time he can be, for sure. But he's got to be healthy, man. Like, he's got to be healthy. And if so, then I think, like, that could be a problem for the Bears, because the Bears have been they've been giving it up, man. They've been giving it up here the last 3 or 4 games defensively, which is, I know, like, their MO has been bend but don't break. But they've also obviously created a lot of turnovers at a very high clip as well, like, in this space. And they played they played a couple of hot offenses as well. So, like, I will say that. And, like, this game is supposed to be nasty too, man. From everything I've seen, it's supposed to be snowing. It's supposed to be cold. It's supposed to be, obviously, snow is going to be cold, but it's supposed to be snowy and windy. A typical NFC North game. And so you have to ask yourself, like, which one of these teams, favors in a game environment like that. And the one thing that has happened is the Bears, offensively, like, they have definitely been a lot better. With the ground game with DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monunga, for sure. Green Bay ranks 25th in defensive grade in PFF. I know, like, I'm not a big PFF guy in that space, for sure, but, like, I think there is something to be said about that, because we all know, not to be like your uncle, or not to be old, or not to be whatever, but, like, hey, man, like, when it does get to this point in time of the season, you got to be able to run the rock. For sure. And Green Bay's got 2 guys that can do the same thing, man. So I think this is probably one of the more evenly matched games, and Vegas obviously agrees as well. This is one of the more evenly matched games that I think we're going to see all weekend long, for sure. But like, yeah, like of course, like I'm gonna continue to ride. I'm gonna continue to ride with Caleb Williams. Why would I not? At this point, man. Um, yeah, Colston Loveland too, dude. Like he's another guy that's like he started to show up, man. I heard like I know we're not like necessarily in the fantasy space per se. We're just talking about like game breakdowns and like obviously like we'll mess around and do a little DFS and whatever else we can. But Colston Loveland and Tyler Warren, man, first 6 weeks it really looked like Tyler Warren by a Mississippi mile, and now Colston Loveland's really started to kind of catch heat here over the last handful of weeks for sure. My big concern, like in this game is, as I mentioned, that experience factor, man. Like that experience factor means something. But Ben Johnson might negate all of that. He might negate all of that. For sure. Like I think like he's proven his worth as a head coach and as a leader for sure. So Bears defense getting healthy too, man. So I think that's another element too that like we've gotta take into consideration. So yeah, I'm gonna continue to ride with the Bears, man. I'm gonna continue to ride with the Bears. Guys like Montez Sweat, got 48 pressures this season, man. That's the most. That's the most he's had since 2021, man. That's 11% pressure rate for him. So like he's somebody. Obviously, the Packers have to account for C.J. Gardner-Johnson. It looks like I know he went down in that game, but it looks like maybe it looks like he's going to give it a go and play. So yeah, man, just give me the Bears, man. Like I think the Packers are kind of limping into this situation, and I can't pick against Caleb Williams. Like I can't. Like I don't. I'm okay with Jordan Love. Like it doesn't bother me, but like I really would like to see Caleb Williams go out and win this game just to be successful, right? Just because of obviously all the narratives and things, and be able to bring a little bit of magic back to the Windy City.
Okay. Well, it's just like this is the hardest probably game on the slate, I think, for me. Because division game, back and forth. Jordan Love always has performed well against Chicago throughout his career since he took over as starter. 116 QB passer rating since he's been there, and since Jordan, Chicago in this season's iteration of Jordan Love, the crossers and the slants have been a problem for Chicago. Whenever Jordan Love doing that in passing, 133 yards passing, 2 touchdowns for 7 for 7. So that's something to be keeping a watch out for. I know CJ Gardner is officially out for this one.
Okay.
I do think they're getting someone else back on the back end though, that I didn't see before I got on. But that being said, like 9.2 yards per attempt allowed for Chicago when facing against Jordan Love in his career such far as a starter.
Yep.
So we'll just see how it all shakes out. This line is flipped back and forth. So it was Chicago as a favorite. Now it's the Packers as a favorite. So it's just there's definitely a push-pull when it comes to the books right now. The thing is for the Green Bay Packers is like they've been a run funnel the last 10 weeks. They've allowed the third most rushing yards in the last 10 weeks. They are 0-4 since Parsons' injury. They've allowed 28 points per game on the defense without him, and 392 total yards per game, with 170 of those being rushing per game. So Chicago coming into this one before the regular season ended, they were 9th in points per game, so almost 25.9, almost 26 points per game. I expect the over in this one for sure. It will just be, will Jordan Love be able to take this team on his back after coming off the concussion? We haven't seen him in 3 weeks. Josh Jacobs, he's been banged up since the Giants game. Like, he says he's full go, but it's like the last time he said that, you only had 3 or 4 touches with the football, and then you said adios. But it's the playoffs, so it's a different story. So there's a lot to like. There's a lot to not like around here. I have no idea. Haywood, what up, my guy? What's happening? But yeah, look, thank you. Kyler Jordan. Yep. Good job, son. I appreciate it. Whoever has the ball last is going to win. one of those things. Heart says Chicago. Head says Green Bay. So I'm going to go with Green Bay. I think they have all the tools to make it happen. It's just, can the Green Bay's defense, which I know is a bit underrated still, even without Parsons. I know they've been in a tough bind, but it's also, remember, like those last 3 weeks as well without Jordan Love has been kind of a stinker as well. So that being said, look, I think I'm going to take Green Bay in this one just because I feel on paper is not going to match what's going to be on the field. So we'll just see how it goes. I like Chicago, though, so it's not something that, I'm like rooting against them. But I do think that Green Bay just has the experience, and I think that's going to matter here in this one. Anything else to add?
No. Like I said, man, give me my guy, man. Let's continue to keep it rolling, brother. Continue to keep it rolling.
My guy, Caleb Williams, truther all day.
Gotta be, baby. Gotta be.
I hear you. Before I get into the prop shop, is there any DFS notes? Anything you want to mention when it comes to that space at all?
I mean, I've got a lineup to build or whatever. I've got that out there. So like I'll mess with that. I'll let you rip your props and kind of take it from there, man.
Sounds good to me. Well, to next prop shop we go. We ended the regular season on a heater. 14-4 prop record last week. That means 5-1 on the prime time. Lamar Jackson couldn't hit some of my overall parlays, but it was a good Sunday night football. I've been killing prime time this year for the most part. Like,
it's a great
Sunday night game. Cooking,
Our Monday night game, actually. Sunday night, yeah.
There's no Monday.
It's all running together. It's all running together. It's all running together. Sunday night, Monday night. It went into Monday night for me till 12 a.m. But go ahead.
Oh boy, I tell you, man. The next prop shop, we're back to 60% after our dip to 59%. So back to 60% in the year. We're gonna keep things rocking for the playoffs. So that being said, look, first one I got is Kyren Williams. He's been money for us 3 times. We took him this season. So his line right now over 66.5 rushing yards. Reason why I like this is that because the Rams, him and Blake Corum, you could take him as well. But the Rams with Kyren Williams, they're best against man gap coverages, and Kyren Williams, like, he's the best at doing it. So that being said, I like this spot. Carolina, they are the 3rd worst in rush yards per allowed. They allow 5.6 yards per attempt. So yeah, look, Kyren Williams all day. Tedero McMillan over 55.5 receiving yards. Talked about this a little bit earlier, where I think there's going to be opportunities for Bryce Young to still be able to, take McMillan and be able to take advantage of the outside boundary. Because I don't think Bryce Young's going to be forced to go inside the completely entire game. So this is where McMillan and him shine. Like I said earlier, Bryce Young has 22 of his 23 touchdowns this season on the boundary. So it's crazy. But that being said, McMillan over 55.5 receiving yards. This should come because Carolina Panthers script should call for him to still pass the ball. And then Stafford over 263.5 pass yards. Stafford's been a beast. We just talked about earlier. They lead the NFL in points and yards per attempt. And this goes with Stafford. And he also gets Devontae Adams back. So this should be a relatively easy line to overall clear as long as the game stays somewhat relatively close, which it should. To the Packers-Bears game for props, Burden, 40-plus receiving yards. And then Christian Watson, over 56.5 receiving yards. Burden has, he can do this line with the, overall attempts he's been getting. He kind of ended the last 3 weeks on some of the heater. We're going back to him because of, Roma Dunze is going to play. So we'll see how this all shakes out. But I think you can't get Burden off the field. And I think this line is just about right for us to take advantage of and make money. And then Christian Watson, over 56.5 receiving yards. He is Green Bay's wide receiver 1. So this is Christian Watson. And I do think that he'll have a nice splash play or two to get us over this line relative with ease. That being said, agree. Hard set Chicago for my boy Sniff. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. So that's what I got, my guy.
All right. Well, definitely going to be hitting on some of those props for sure. Definitely going to be tailing a couple of them because it's that time of the year, man. You know what I mean? Stimulus really got to come through for us in the clutch out here. Let's see. So far, man, just on the build I got going so far, just for Saturday. Obviously, we'll hook one up for Sunday on Sunday morning on the main slate. But right now, man, I got Stafford, Swift, Adams, and Tetero. Got about
Love those locks, bro. Yep, love it.
So Mr. Tight End guy, who's your tight end?
On this slate, oh boy, on this slate, let's see. So yeah, Terrence Ferguson, we got to watch out for that news. If he's out, which I'm expecting him to be out, I would love to go Tyler Higbee. I would love to go.
I was actually thinking about Higbee
or Musgrave because I do think that he could still get some volume. But I like Tyler Higbee. He is the one that will probably be the touchdown getter. Ferguson has been nice fill-in for him, but I do think Tyler Higbee can find a way to be productive for 3,200. And probably ownership's going to be in the middle probably of it. So I do like Tyler Higbee.
All right. Okay, cool. All right. So that helps me with the tight end situation to know what to do. Took the Bears defense, man, on a slate like this right here as far as playoffs, looking for turnovers, looking for big plays. Could probably go with the Rams. We'll see what happens if I got enough money. Continue to keep that rolling. Then at running back, I already got DeAndre Swift in. Kind of low key want to go like in that Blake Corum or see what happens if we throw Kyron in there because that might now we're rammed up for sure, and that's just kind of standing on business with what we talked about. You've got Christian Watson, you're liking that. Could be a good, nice value pick, and then at 7,900 at flex. Let's see, wouldn't be able to get there, man. So
6,300 Josh Jacobs, like that's relatively cheap, man. That's relatively cheap for a guy that I know he's not healthy, but he's someone that you might have to reconsider your lineup just because of if he finds his way to get some checkdowns as well, like 6,300, he could blow that price out the water.
Are we going name? Are we going off a name? Or are we going off of this is what it is here? Because I know, like you see the name and you see that
we
price.
Can find Puka Nacua to get the value.
Like, well, that's what I was thinking. Like, so if I did that, move. But
it's like you already got Kyron Williams exposure, so that's fine too. But it's like if you could find the money to get to Puka, yeah, I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, no,
I wouldn't hate.
Yeah,
we got $800 short. I see.
Maybe you swap DeAndre Swift for Kyle Monunga.
It's possible.
Well, you still can't get there. It's still too expensive.
I mean, what about Caleb?
Let me see. I'm gonna go now. I can't even get to my favorite guy, Romeo Dobbs. I can't even get there.
Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. That's the lineup. I'm gonna see if I can. Yeah, that's the lineup. That's it. That's the lineup right there.
Cool.
Yeah. Cool. All right, Matt Stafford. I know, right? Like that's almost too easy, which scares me. Matt Stafford, DeAndre Swift, Kyron Williams, Tetero McMillan, Devontae Adams, Jaden Reed, Tyler Higbee, Puka, and the Bears.
Right.
There it is, man. There
Sweet.
it is. If I can get my mouse back over to my real life.
Wait, yo.
Yeah, we'll be good to go. Final thoughts. No, man, tune in and watch us on Sunday morning like we always do, man. That's it. Tune in on Sunday morning. Get ready to watch some good college football, man, tonight. Yep. Hopefully win some money. Whoever thought the Indiana Hoosiers would be out here kicking people in the face and taking their lunch money, because that's wild. And as the kids say, IRL. So
I can't. Well, yep. That's same. I'm just everything you just said. Enjoy some college football tonight. Enjoy some NFL football tomorrow. enjoy some basketball. Like, we are in the prime time of, sports still. So, that being said, we'll see y'all. You already know what it is. 10:30 a.m. Eastern. You know what I'm saying? You already know what's going to be. Going over the games. Going to go over Sunday and Monday Night Football. So, all in one, baby. But that being said, yeah, we love you too, my guy. That being said, we out of here. We'll see you Sunday morning. Peace.
Peace.